Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you everyone for joining today. My name is Rachel McLeod, and I am the Assistant Director at the Center for Global Business, and I oversee all of our business students studying abroad, including students that go on our short-term programs. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what is a short-term program, where are we going for winter of 2027, how does the application work, finances, and at the end, if you have any questions, I'm going to open it up for that. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. If for some reason you can't see my screen, please let me know. So in terms of why should you go abroad for a short-term program, we do see a lot of times. So this past year, we did a study that showed that Smith students that studied abroad received about 33.3% um, more of a starting salary when they first started, compared to students that didn't. So we send a lot of students abroad. The national average is 10%. And here at Smith, we send about 33% of our students abroad. We also saw that students that studied abroad had on average about a 4,100 or higher starting salary than students that didn't. And that was just here at Smith. Nationally, it's a little bit less. So we do see really a big value for our Smith students that go abroad. We've also done a couple studies or have seen a couple studies through different businesses abroad that show that they're really looking for students that have this experience and these skill sets. So we see, 56% of students who studied abroad, it helped them get a job. And we've seen that 84% of employers value some sort of global experience. So in terms of like why a short-term program versus possibly a semester, so this is a great way to get credit during the January term. So each of our courses is worth 3 credits, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's a great way to kind of get ahead of your degree while you're still here at Smith. Um, if you haven't traveled before, or if you're looking at, a country that you might not be as comfortable studying abroad in, this is a really great opportunity to have that experience in a very kind of guided way. Um, this is also a really great way for students that maybe you just don't want to go abroad for a semester, or you have an internship or a job, or you're part of a fraternity, sorority, student organization, and just going abroad for a semester might not be possible. This is a really great opportunity to still be able to study abroad during your college experience. So what is a short-term course? So for here at Smith, these take part during the winter term. So all of our programs that we'll be talking about in a little bit will take part in January of 2027. There will be usually for each program about 1 to 2 meetings before you go abroad. A little bit of coursework reading to kind of prep you for while you're abroad. And then usually upon return of after the program, you'll have a like group project or some kind of paper as your final work. There will be a little bit of coursework done while you're abroad, but we try to keep that very light, given that there's already a lot going on. And we want to make sure that you can enjoy the time that you have abroad. These programs themselves are laid out. We have usually each day 1 or 2 company visits. We will then also have some cultural activities included. A lot of times there'll be some sort of experiential project, so that could be like micro consulting with a company or something while you're abroad as well. All of these programs, as I mentioned before, do offer 3 credits of academic. All of our programs count as upper level business electives. We don't have any programs this coming winter that will count towards like a major degree, but everything does count as an upper level business elective. And lastly, you're going to go abroad on this program with 2 Smith faculty or staff members. At least 1 faculty member will be leading each program, and about 20 to 30 other Smith students. So this is a really fantastic way to get to know some other students that are part of the Smith School, but also to really get to know a faculty member. These programs are a little bit intensive. We keep you pretty busy. So throughout the 2 weeks that you'll be abroad, as I mentioned, it's going to be a mix of company visits and cultural visits as well. We will have like free evenings, usually 1 to 2 free days. But other than that, we do keep it pretty structured. So this is a really great way to kind of create like a cohort feel with students that are abroad on your program as well. So for winter of 2027, we're going to have 6 programs that the business school is running. The first program that we have is going to be in Costa Rica, and that's going to be run by Christine Schaaf and Amy Baliki. So this particular program is going to take place in San Jose and Heredia. We have a list of some activities that will be included in this program as well that you'll do as a group. But the focus of this program is really looking at Costa Rica's tourism and business in the ecosystem of both Latin America and then North America as well. The second program that we have is going to take place in Japan. So this program is going to start in Tokyo. You're going to go to Nagoya, and we're going to end in Kyoto. It's going to be run by David Ashley and Emily Marks. The focus of this program is really looking at more so the supply chain aspects of Japan. So you're going to be looking at how Japan's unique culture really drives its innovation in manufacturing, and how even though it might be a smaller country, it has a huge global business leadership role. Here are just some examples of activities that will be included. We'll have a few more actually listed by time we have the full itinerary list kind of made. Our third program is going to go to Morocco and Portugal, and this is going to be led by Julie Pawlowski. The focus of this program is going to be more finance. So these are going to compare financial systems and investment strategies and looking at how the differences between Morocco and Portugal, so a more developed market and then a more developing market, the role that they play in the Middle East and North Africa, along with Europe and the rest of the world. Our next program is going to be Global AI in Space in Switzerland. So this is going to take place in Geneva and Zurich. It's going to be run by Kevin McGarry and Justin Reyna. And the focus of this program is really looking at how AI is transforming the global space industry. So we're going to be looking at how the space industry, especially through the UN, while you're in Switzerland, sort of the focus that they have and the leadership they have within the space industry, but also how is AI really forming and transforming that sector as well. We also have doing business in India. So this is going to take place in New Delhi and Bengaluru. So this is run by Joseph Bailey and Rachel Dodonna. This particular program is really looking at global firms and how they manage, India's dynamic business environment, both within India, Asia as a whole, and then India's kind of role within the entire global business sphere. We are hoping to go to the Taj Mahal during this program as well. We're working with the schedule to try to fit that in. But you can see here some other activities that will be included in the program. And then lastly, we have our Ireland and Scotland program. So this is going to take place in Dublin, Edinburgh, and Glasgow. It's going to be run by David Ashley and Elizabeth Galvin. So this particular program is looking at how companies design their global strategies in small, high-impact economies. So kind of similar to our Japan program, we do see both Ireland and then Scotland. They might have like a smaller GPD, but they really, really are global powerhouses, both within Europe, but also North America. So all of these programs by midsummer, so we're really aiming for about mid-June, will have a program fee. What's included in that program fee is going to include your accommodations. So all of our programs, you will be staying in a 3 to 4 star hotel. You will have a roommate unless we have an odd number of students and you're the lucky one that gets your single room. It will also include all of our business visits, culture activities, any of that micro consulting or other kind of experiential learning that we have. In-country transportation, so that includes everything from getting to those business visits, mid-country change if it's in 2 different countries, any of the transportation kind of tuned from the hotel. What that doesn't include is going to be when you first land. We will have really detailed instructions on the best way to get from the airport to the hotel, but that will be on your own. The program fee will also include breakfast throughout the entire program. We usually have about 2 group dinners, and then we'll have 1 or 2 lunches included as well. It will include our in-country guide. So every day we will have a tour guide that will help us get from point A to point B throughout the day using usually public transportation, sometimes a group bus. But they're also going to be your local experts. So they're going to be there to give you some great historical facts throughout the day, but also, give you suggestions of places to visit, places to eat while you're there, help with any language barriers that might be there as well. And then lastly, this program fee is going to include your 3 credits of the course for the program. Most notably, what's not included is going to be your international flight. So please keep that in mind when you see the program fee. That does not include the flight to and from the hotel, your personal expenses, and then your visa if you need one. We will have a full budget created that shows sort of all of these additional fees. So you can really get a good look at what is the program fee, but then also what else can I expect to have to spend on this program. In terms of finances and scholarships, you can use financial aid for these programs. We recommend you reach out to the financial aid office. Since this is a winter program, there's sometimes some additional steps that you have to partake. We also have our Smith Goes Global Scholarship, which is just for Smith students to study abroad, and we award anywhere from 1,000 to 2,700 for these programs. And then there's also the Education Abroad Fund Scholarship. So the Education Abroad Fund Scholarship, they have about 2 dozen scholarships that you apply as part of your actual application, which we'll talk about in a second. And they award usually anywhere from $500 to $2,500 dollars for winter programs. We also have the Gilman Guarantee Program here at the University of Maryland. So if you receive a Pell Grant, you're eligible for something called the Gilman Scholarship. The Gilman Scholarship is a national scholarship that's given out through the Department of State, or through the Department of Education, excuse me. And if you apply for this scholarship, Education Abroad will automatically guarantee you $2,500. So even if you don't receive the Gilman, you'll still get the $2,500 from Education Abroad. And you can pair this with the other Education Abroad scholarships and or the Smith Goes Global Scholarship as well. So in terms of applications, our applications are going to open on May 1st, and they're going to be due September 30th. So you'll have a lot of time. When you go to open your application, links will be on the Center for Global Business website under the Undergraduate Study Abroad Short-Term Opportunities, but it'll also be on the Education Abroad website. If you just type in BMGT Winter, all of the applications will show up. We will only allow you to apply for one program. We ask that be your top choice. If you are waitlisted or if we don't have enough applicants for that program and we have to cancel it, we will reach out to you and make sure that you have a list of other programs that are still accepting applications. And if there's a situation where you want to switch to that application, we can just go ahead and do so. You don't have to reapply. So now I'm going to open up. Are there any questions about the short-term programs, the process, or anything like that? If there is, you can either just unmute yourself or go ahead and type in the chat. Well, if there aren't any questions, you can always email me. My email is going to be rmccloud@umd.edu. So please go ahead and contact me if there are any questions. Is there a specific cap to the number of students accepted the programs? That's a great question. Yes. So most programs we cap at 30. Faculty that have led these programs before, have more experience, and are willing to take more than 30 students, we can then take up to 35. But we really don't like to go over that unless we absolutely have to, as we find anything over 30 can sometimes take away from the experience of the program, just given how large the group is. Our goal is to always have at least 20 students per program as well. Okay, well, that is it for today. If there aren't any other questions, oh, wait. So last year, the average program fee per program was about $3,600. Um, it's really hard to tell because things are getting more expensive in general, but obviously each country is going to kind of determine the overall cost of the programs. So I can tell you some programs such as Switzerland and Japan are probably going to be a little bit more expensive than our Portugal and Morocco, Ireland and Dublin programs as well. And a lot of that just has to do with how far does the US dollar go, cost of living, everything like that. But I would estimate about 3,700 for program fee. And then in terms of the total cost, again, that is really program dependent. You know, some flights such as Japan and India are going to be more expensive than Costa Rica or Ireland and Dublin. Average acceptance rate. Yes. So average acceptance rate is about 94%. So as long as you're in good academic standing, so that's going to be a 3.0 GPA and no severe judicial action, you should get into the program. Where things get a little bit rocky is if we have more than 30 eligible applicants. At that point, we will create a wait list. It's very common for students to be accepted but not commit to the program, and then we move students off the wait list. Again, if you are waitlisted, we will offer you a spot in another alternative program should you want it and are unable to get off the wait list. Yeah, so we do have students. Application deadline is going to be September 30th. And then we give faculty 10 days to kind of make the decision on acceptances. A lot of times they'll turn around and get that to me by 2, 3 days after the deadline. But we do review all applications after the deadline. So even if you apply, let's say right on May 1st, you're going to be good to go, but we're not going to actually have a response for you until right after the deadline. But the longest would be 10 days after the deadline, but historically we've gotten out a lot quicker than that. Any other questions? Okay, in which case you guys are good to go. Like I said, please reach out to me via email, make an advisor appointment, anything like that. Applications open May 1st, and we'll have more information about the actual program fee on all programs by the middle of summer. Scholarship applications happen at the same time as the program application. That's a great question. So in your actual program application, there's going to be a question on if you want to be considered for scholarships. If you click yes, that'll take you to the Education Abroad Scholarship portal. That's where you would apply for the Education Abroad scholarships. For the Smith Goes Global, that is sent out via Google form to all students who are eligible when you open an application. So all of which these are things that you can finish way ahead of the September 30th deadline. If you want to get all of the scholarship and the program applications out of the way this summer, you can definitely do so. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Like I said, please reach out with any questions or concerns about the programs.